Welcome back to virtual reality. My name is Thomas and you are watching VoodooDE VR. Today I have a special video for you. A lot of people from my community ask me, can you do a video about the best VR games? Yes, I can. So here comes a video about the best VR games released so far on all platforms. That means PlayStation VR, Oculus Rift, Quest and SteamVR. So the video is a little bit longer because there are a lot of good games, but I try to do that very short. For every game I tell you what platform will it support. So when I say only Rift, that means you can only buy it on the Oculus store, but you can of course also play it via Oculus Link on the Quest or via Revive on all the other headsets. When I say SteamVR, you can also play it on Quest and Rift, of course, and Rift S and Oculus Link. So guys, the list is alphabetically sorted. So it starts with A, of course. Then if you want to support me, you can do this via Patreon or YouTube membership. From $1 per month, you get behind the scenes videos then. Thank you also to my sponsors, VoodooDE VR, REAPERMAN Events, DEFECTOR VR Ambassador, AlphaBlend Interactive and Virtual Escape. Let's have some fun with the video and let's go!
VoodooDE.
A Chair in a Room. A horror adventure where we have to find out why we wake up in an asylum, solving puzzles in which we are repeatedly confronted with nasty jump scares. Available on Rift and SteamVR. A Fisherman's Tale. A brilliant puzzle adventure in which we have to think outside the box. If we change a model, the real world also changes. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift, Quest and SteamVR. Alien Isolation VR. A survival horror game in which we always have to live with the fear of being discovered by a wandering alien. With the Mother VR mod, we can play it in virtual reality. Available on SteamVR. Apex Construct. A mix of adventure and shooter in a post-apocalyptic world in which we are the only surviving human to fight against robots. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift, Quest and SteamVR. Arizona Sunshine. A zombie adventure in post-apocalyptic Arizona. Can we make it through the varied areas and fight back the zombie hordes? Available on PlayStation VR, Rift, Quest and SteamVR. ASSETTO CORSA. As one of the best racing simulations, it offers very good graphics, a realistic physics engine and a large number of tracks and licensed vehicles. Available on SteamVR. ASGARD'S Wrath. A great action role-playing game in which we are in the age of the Vikings. Brute close combat needs your reaction and fitness. Available on Rift. Astrobot Rescue Mission. A jump and run of the extra class in which we have to fight countless opponents with a cute robot and have to prove our skill to reach the next level. Available on PlayStation VR. Beat Saber. One of the most famous and popular VR games. With two lightsabers we have to cut blocks in the right direction and color in the rhythm of the music. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift, Quest and SteamVR. Blade and Sorcery. A brutal melee combat game in which we can kill our opponents physically correct with swords or other weapons. Not for children. Available on Rift and SteamVR. Blood and Truth. A cinematic action adventure. In addition to an interesting story, we can expect a lot of gun action and action scenes. Available on PlayStation VR. BONEWORKS. This is more of a physics gimmick than a real game. Nevertheless, you will always discover new opportunities to have fun. Available on Rift and SteamVR. Borderlands 2 VR. The well-known loot shooter was perfectly ported to VR. The whole game can be experienced in virtual reality. Available on PlayStation VR and SteamVR. Budget cuts. A stealth adventure game in which we have to find the exit of the level as cleverly and tactically as possible and have to beware of the evil guard robots. Available on Rift and SteamVR. Carly and the REAPERMAN. A wonderful platform in which we have to escape from the underworld. You can also play cooperatively with a friend on the PC. Available on PlayStation VR, SteamVR and Rift. CHIARO and the ELIXIER of Life. A beautiful designed VR adventure in which we as the engineer CHIARO and our robot friend Boca are supposed to save the last living machines. Available on Rift and SteamVR. Climby. A climbing game in which we shouldn't suffer from fear of heights. With breakneck actions we have to try to climb to the end of the level, even in multiplayer. Available on SteamVR. Compound. A retro-style first-person shooter. In beautiful pixelated environments we shoot our way through randomly generated levels. Available on SteamVR. Contractors. A military multiplayer shooter. In teams or solo we compete against other players with a wide variety of weapons. Available on Rift and SteamVR. CubeVR. A sandbox game in a procedurally generated world in which we can collect resources, craft and build stuff. Available on SteamVR. DCS World. This is a combat simulation in which we are on the move with fighter jets in realistic gameplay. Available on SteamVR. Dead Effect 2 VR. A zombie shooter with RPG elements that we can also play completely cooperative with our friends. Available on SteamVR. Defector. A successful action adventure with a lot of story, puzzles and shooting. Available on Rift. Deracine. A story adventure in which we have to solve puzzles and also have to prove our existence as a ghost. Available on PlayStation VR. Derail Valley. A railway simulation with a lot of realism. We control locomotives, transport goods and have to be careful that we don't derail. Available on Rift and SteamVR. Dirt Rally 2 VR. Do you feel like rushing over dusty tracks at high speed? You can do that here in VR. Available on Rift and SteamVR. Don't Knock Twice. A horror adventure in which we have to save our daughter while we explore a large spooky mansion. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift and SteamVR. Doom VFR. A brutal, fast and action-packed first-person shooter in which we have to fight against hordes of demons on Mars. Available on PlayStation VR and SteamVR. Down the Rabbit Hole. An awesome puzzle adventure in the Alice in Wonderland universe. We have to complete crazy puzzles with 2 characters at the same time. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift, Quest and SteamVR. Edge of Nowhere. An adventure from a third-person perspective in which we have to free ourselves from a failed Antarctic expedition. Available on Rift. 11 Table Tennis VR. A table tennis game with multiplayer support which contains very realistic ball physics and can hardly be distinguished from real table tennis. Available on SteamVR, Rift and Quest. Elite Dangerous. An open-world space adventure with infinite freedom, a dynamic story and a very immersive spaceship feeling. Available on Rift and SteamVR. Euro Truck Simulator 2. Do you just want to drive down the highway with a big truck for hours with a high level of realism? It is possible here in VR. Available on SteamVR. Fallout 4 VR. As the only survivor of Vault 111 after a nuclear war, explore a vast post-apocalyptic world in which a lot of quests must be completed. Available on SteamVR. Farpoint. An open-world first-person shooter where we are stranded on a hostile alien world and have to survive. Available on PlayStation VR. Five Nights at Freddy's VR. The horror jump scare fest is now also available in VR. Again, we have to protect ourselves from the nasty animatronics. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift, Quest and SteamVR. Firewall 0 Hour. As part of an elite military unit, we fight 4 against 4 players for victory. Tactical approaches are extremely important. Available on PlayStation VR. Form. An adventure where we have to solve puzzles made up on our dreams and memories that feel incredibly immersive. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift and SteamVR. From Other Suns. An adventure game in which we have to find our way back to Earth after a failed space experiment before hostile aliens can get in our way. Available on Rift. Ghost Giant. A cute VR adventure game that is also suitable for children. As a ghost, we help little Louis on his journey and his quests. Available on PlayStation VR and Quest. GORN. An ultra brutal arena fighting game in which we have to face gladiators. We can literally take the opponents apart completely. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift and SteamVR. Half-Life ALYX. Half-Life ALYX is rightly considered the best VR game so far. In a perfect Half-Life atmosphere, we escape from zombies, solve physics puzzles and shoot combined soldiers or giant striders. Available on SteamVR. HELLBLADE Senua's Sacrifice. In the Age of the Vikings, we fight for the soul of our dead men while we experience a world full of myth and madness. Available on SteamVR. Hellsplit Arena. In different arenas we compete with melee weapons against the undead. The fights feel brutal and real. Available on SteamVR. Hot Dogs, Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. A VR sandbox game in which we can handle a wide variety of weapons and explosives. The physics engine and the gameplay of the weapons are ultra realistic. Available on SteamVR. IL-2 STURMOVIK. One of the most popular combat flight simulations in which we fly historically correct, extremely realistic designed aircraft and experience combat simulations. Available on SteamVR. In Death. A bow and arrow game in which we compete against a lot of enemies in procedurally generated levels. The level of difficulty is definitely not intended for beginners. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift, Quest and SteamVR. IRONWOLF VR. A submarine simulation that is specifically designed for room scale, in which we can realistically control the submarine even in multiplayer mode. Available on Rift and SteamVR. Job Simulator and Vacation Simulator. In a world where robots have taken over all human jobs, we can simulate these jobs like auto mechanic, cook or grill master. Very suitable for VR beginners. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift, Quest and SteamVR. KARNAGE Chronicles. A VR role-playing game in which we move through stylish designed dungeons, collect loot, get equipment and fight opponents. Available on Rift and SteamVR. Killing Floor Incursion. A horror adventure with story elements in which we have to defend ourselves against zombies through different areas. It can also be done cooperatively. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift and SteamVR. Lone Echo. A graphically extremely complex space adventure in which we as the AI Jack have to solve the secret of a threatening space mystery. Available on Rift. Marvel's Iron Man VR. One of the best superhero games in VR. With the help of the Move controller, we jet through the area and experience an action-packed story and awesome fights. Available on PlayStation VR. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. The most beautiful flight simulator the world has ever seen comes with VR support. Fly a variety of aircraft in an ultra-realistic way. Available on SteamVR. Moss. An action adventure in which we as the mouse Quill have to solve beautiful design puzzles and fight enemies in different areas. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift, Quest and SteamVR. No Man's Sky VR. The port of the huge open world space adventure is very successful. We explore space by spaceship and planets on foot. There is so much to discover. Available on PlayStation VR and SteamVR. If you liked the video so far, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, that would be awesome. And now let's continue. Onward. Onward is one of the most realistic tactical shooters in VR. Together with our team, we have to develop a tactic to accomplish our mission. Available on Rift, Quest and SteamVR. Orbos VR, one of the very few VR MMORPGs where we can quest, fight, craft and just hang out in a huge persistent world. Available on Rift, Quest and SteamVR. Paper Beast, a very successful adventure in which we are on the move in a world full of paper creatures and have to solve great physics puzzles. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift and SteamVR. Paranormal Activity: The Lost Soul. It is considered the most frightening VR horror game of all time. We are alone in a big dark mansion and we are solving its terrible mystery. Absolutely not for kids. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift and SteamVR. Pavlov VR, an action-packed multiplayer shooter in which we have to kill our opponents with realistically designed weapons. Very fun, especially in multiplayer. Available on SteamVR. Payday 2. The VR port of the action game is very successful. Together with 3 other players, you will commit various crimes and shoot as much as you can. Available on SteamVR. Phantom Covered Ops. This game is played while sitting because we are on a canoe. We have to eliminate targets and solve quests as quietly as possible. Available on Rift and Quest. Pistol Whip, a music shooter. In the rhythm of the music, we shoot our opponents while listening to different songs. Feels great when you shoot in the rhythm. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift, Quest and SteamVR. Pixel Ripped, a crazy retro simulation. With the help of a video game, we have to save the real world from the invasion of the pixel monsters. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift, Quest and SteamVR. Project Cars 1, 2 and 3. A realistic racing simulation in which we can drive more than 180 different cars and also have a lot of tracks to choose from. Available on Rift and SteamVR. Race Room Racing Experience. A free-to-play racing simulation with optional in-game purchases, in which we can drive a variety of licensed cars and tracks. Available on SteamVR. Racket Fury Table Tennis. A futuristic table tennis game in which we can compete against both computers and real people. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift, Quest and SteamVR. Racket NX. A futuristic squad variation in which we have to shoot our ball to cool beats and hit the ball in the correct way to collect points. Available on Rift, Quest and SteamVR. Rainbow Reactor. In this easy to learn and hard to master game, we have to mix colorful balls to power the whole city. Available on SteamVR. Raw Data. A fast but also tactical wave shooter in which we have to fight waves of scary robots, even in multiplayer. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift and SteamVR. Rec Room. A free social VR game where we can play games with our friends, hang out or even do co-op missions. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift, Quest and SteamVR. Red Matter. In this puzzle adventure, we have to explore a secret project of an abandoned Russian moon base. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift, Quest and SteamVR. Resident Evil 7 VR. The VR version of the popular survival horror adventure in which we experience all kinds of crazy things and have to manage our ammunition well. Available on PlayStation VR. Rick and Morty Virtual Reality. Experience the craziest adventure of Rick and Morty in virtual reality, one of the funniest VR games ever. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift and SteamVR. Robinson the Journey. After our spaceship crashes, we have to survive on a planet full of hostile dinosaurs and solve puzzles in the manner of an adventurer. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift and SteamVR. Robo Recall. an ultra-fast first-person shooter with a very immersive feeling. In fast battles, we kill a horde of wild robots. Available on Rift and Quest. Shadow Point, a great puzzle adventure in a stylish designed world. We solve the puzzles with the help of light and shadow. Available on Rift and Quest. Shooty Fruity, one of the funniest wave shooters. In a supermarket, we arm our weapons and fight in waves against wild vegetables. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift and SteamVR. Skyrim VR. Experience one of the largest and most complex role-playing games in VR. The world of Tamriel is the largest and longest role-playing adventure that is currently available for virtual reality. Available on PlayStation VR and SteamVR. Skyworld, a classic strategy game redesigned for VR. On a large battlefield, we build and command our troops turn-based and in real time to defeat the enemy. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift, Quest and SteamVR. Space Pirate Trainer, one of the first VR games, yet one of the best and most addicting wave shooters. We fight waves of drones with different weapons. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift, Quest and SteamVR. Sports Bar VR, a social VR sports game in which we can play dart, shuffle or air hockey together with up to 8 friends. Available on Rift and SteamVR. Sprint Vector, a sports game in which you really work hard and sweat while trying to jump and slide through different levels. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift and SteamVR. Star Trek Bridge Crew. Control and manage a huge spaceship with your 4-person team, fight enemies and experience space adventures in the Star Trek universe. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift, Quest and SteamVR. Stormland, an action adventure in a world of robots. In an open world we loot, explore, quest, craft and fight in beautiful graphics. Available on Rift. Super Hot VR, a tactical shooter where your surroundings and enemies only move when you move yourself, so plan your next step carefully. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift, Quest and SteamVR. Synth Riders, a brilliant rhythm game in which we have to catch balls in time with a beat. Available on Rift, Quest and SteamVR. Siren, a survival horror game with a shortage of ammunition in which we have to escape from an underwater base with nasty enemies. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift and SteamVR. The Climb, a very realistic climbing simulation in which we have to think carefully about our next step so that we don't fall to death. Available on Rift and Quest. The Curious Tale of the Stolen Pets, a wonderful VR hidden object game for children. Without any violence, we must find the lost pets. We are on the move in different areas. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift, Quest and SteamVR. The Exorcist Legion VR. In this 3 episodes horror game, we puzzle our way through mysterious cases of exorcism and have to solve these cases. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift, Quest and SteamVR. The Forest VR, the popular open-world survival adventure with multiplayer support in which we have to survive after a plane crash on a hostile island. Available on SteamVR. The Gallery, an adventure game that relies heavily on room scale and now has 2 episodes in which we have to solve puzzles in mysterious environments. Available on Rift and SteamVR. The Lab, a fun, free combination of mini-games like bow and arrow or wave shooter, which is especially suitable for VR beginners as it doesn't cause any motion sickness. Available on SteamVR. The Mage's Tale, a dungeon crawler in which we have to rescue our kidnapped master in a world full of magic and aggressive creatures. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift and SteamVR. The Persistence, a very brutal and very difficult science fiction stealth game with roguelike elements and permadeath. We have to escape a space station and make it back to Earth. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift and SteamVR. The Solus Project, a single-player exploration game in a mysterious planet with survival elements and an open world in which we have to solve quests and puzzles. Available on PlayStation VR and SteamVR. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. One of the best zombie adventure games. In an open world we explore the environment, have to solve tasks, collect, craft and of course defend ourselves against the zombies. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift and SteamVR. Thumper. A crazy rhythm racer. In the beat of the music you race through futuristic environments at insane speed. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift, Quest and SteamVR. Tower Tag. A simple but cool shooting game in which we teleport between small platforms, conquer them and take out our opponents. Available on SteamVR. Transference. A psychological thriller with escape room elements as well as creepy and surreal environments, which is definitely not intended for children. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift and SteamVR. Transpose. A VR puzzle game in which we can influence the time. In different strings of time we solve puzzles to get to the next portal. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift and SteamVR. Trover Saves the Universe. A completely crazy VR adventure. The humor is not intended for children, but it's funny as hell. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift, Quest and SteamVR. Twisted Arrow. A fast and action-packed arcade shooter in which we have to fight waves of enemies with bow and arrow. Available on Rift and SteamVR. Until Dawn Rush of Blood. An anything but normal roller coaster ride through completely crazy environments such as a slaughterhouse. The game is not for children and offers some disturbing moments and horror scenes. Available on PlayStation VR. Vanishing Realms. One of the first and still best VR role-playing games. In varied environments such as caves, dungeons and forests, we find loot, upgrade our characters and complete quests. Available on SteamVR. Star Wars Vader Immortal. You always wanted to stand in front of life-size Darth Vader and fight him? It is possible here. Well done story in episode format. Available on PlayStation VR, Rift and Quest. VR Chat. Love it or hate it, but VR Chat is one of the most played social VR games. We can play games with our friends or just hang out. Available on Rift, Quest and SteamVR. Wilson's Heart. A first-person psychological thriller in which we, as the patient Robert Wilson, have to find out why our heart has been replaced by a mysterious device. Available on Rift. Wipeout Omega Collection. An ultra-fast arcade racer in which we have to show reaction in order to lead our racer safely to its destination on 26 tracks. Available on PlayStation VR. Wrench. Wrench is an ultra-realistic car mechanic simulation in which we have to realistically assemble a complete engine, for example, from all individual parts. Available on Rift and SteamVR. X-Plane 11. A very realistic flight simulation with a variety of realistically designed aircraft, airports, environments and conditions. Available on SteamVR. Zero Caliber VR. A military first-person shooter in which we have to fulfill orders. The entire campaign can also be played cooperatively. Available on Rift and SteamVR. Okay guys, that were the, in my opinion, best VR games so far. And now the big question, which is your favorite VR game? Write it in the comments below, or perhaps if you have some more time, write your top 10 games in a list in the description or in the comments below. If you like to support me, please go via my Amazon link and buy your stuff there. Just use it as your bookmark for Amazon. Go via this link always. You will not pay anything extra and support my work. That would be awesome. Finally, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and see you next time in virtual reality. See ya!
VoodooDE